introduce first Dr. John L. Ochsner.
Gray Morrison was a kind, considerate, gentle man, and I can say that without any fear of contradiction because I knew him a lifetime. I guess my first recollection was when my mother took Gray and me and our younger brothers to see Santa Claus. And I assumed, by trying to figure our age then, that it had to be at least 80 plus years that I knew Gray as a person. We were really joined at the hip during childhood. We really wanted to get to be grown-ups quick. We had a lust for mature. We spent every summer together at Lookout Mountain Camp and in the same cabin. And we went away to school, in a boarding school in Darlington together, to get away from parental guidance. And we thought that we were really something at that age. I can remember very well. We were really nature's raw material, and we were just attempting to grow up. But in attempting, we seemed to accomplish the great goal. We have an historic number of demerits collected at Darlington. And we spent most of the time on campus, but spent a lot of it trying to get off the campus or sneaking off the campus. And this, in reality, made us much closer. We became as close as two people could be. We were more like brothers than friends. We had to pay the price, of our misdeeds at Darlington, but as I said, all that did was put us closer together because they locked us on the campus, and it was just the two of us. But we got into trouble there and eventually found ways to get off the campus during our 10-year of imprisonment. Gray had a love for Jane that was steadfast. I went through their entire courtship. I was probably there more than anyone. I can remember many a day that we were double dating. I can remember one in particular when after a Christmas dance, we sought some solitude in a remote place and only to fall into a big hole. And at 2 o'clock in the morning, we had to get a truck to come pull us out. And I can remember Jane and my day, both with bouquets, sitting in a truck, really trying to get the car out. We were very lucky because it washed off very easy. It was Gray's father, Uncle Charlie's car, and he'd never do it. We were also, it was unique that we went into the service and were stationed at bases at the same time, not far from New York. So we spent every weekend together in New York. One time I remember we either didn't have money for the hotel or couldn't find a hotel, and we spent the entire night on the subways, going back and forth on the subways. We had on white uniforms, and I can remember we were scared to sit in the seats too long because we knew they'd be all rumpled for the next day. But we had times when we slept in bathtubs or on the floor, but we always made it every weekend into New York to see each other. You know, when you open a bank account, you have to have a name, you have to have a password in or a PIN number. And they always ask you a few security questions, like what was your mother's maiden name? Who was your favorite teacher? Who was your first pet's name? And what was the name of your best friend? And I have had no trouble putting down the name because I knew I would remember it forever. And that name is Ray Morris.